as you can hear behind me. First group's already out. We're up next. So today is going to be a fun day. I'm going to be driving a couple different cars, be doing a little comparison, a little shootout. One of my buddies that let me borrow his car because my R32 is not up and running at the moment is in this beautiful S2000 right here. This bright yellow Pikachu S2K. So we're gonna go out. I'm gonna give you some driving impressions of this compared to my S2K that I had previously and compared to another car that's here today. You guys let me know what you think. It is almost time to get out, so we're gonna get going, and you know how we do things. So we're gonna get this thing started and it's gonna be a fun day. All right, you guys let me know what you think.
1 foot accuracy.
Nice.
There you go.
We are going to go in the faster group.
Yep.
And we're going. So let's get going. Got a little heat in the tires, getting used to the car a little bit. Other S2Ks are going around kind of dancing, so we're gonna start getting a feel for this, start getting it up to speed. It definitely doesn't have the downforce because we're playing with no wing, no front splitter, so I can definitely feel the difference. The rear end's not loose, but it just doesn't feel as planted. Now granted, we are messing around with a really cold course right now, so tires are definitely not up to temp yet. That was coming over Phil Hill there, and Phil Hill was definitely a little sketcy. Got some dust up ahead. Alright, now we can see. Alright guys, so that was the S2000. What'd y'all think? I mic'd up and everything, set up the helmet so I could give you like an immediate reaction video, you know, and be able to discuss what I was, you know, feeling while I was actually in the car. Try and give you that insight to like my thought process, you know. Basically you were in my head while I was driving around the track. So you guys, let me know what you thought. What were your ideas? What were your thoughts about the S2000? Specifically what we had going on here at Buttonwillow. As you saw or heard on my end, I did enjoy the car. I like the S2000. The S2000 was what I was in previously. This AP1 did very good. It still needs some refinement, in my opinion, depending on how far you want to go with it. If you're trying to be a full track warrior with this thing and be out every other weekend and really run it for times, it definitely needs a couple more things. So if this was mine, if this was the way, it would be more like I had my AP2. You know, I'd have a big wing for some downforce in the rear, help stabilize this rear end, which makes a huge difference. And it's especially even in the AP2, the AP1 is very like quick to snap oversteer, very quick to step out on you. So you have to be very conscious of that. But when you have the extra downforce from a wing, even a mid-rise spoiler, short wing will help a ton in this car. But that would add a ton of confidence, which of course adds speed. It keeps the rear end stable, keeps you planted. I think this car would benefit a ton from that. In the front, I think the front's pretty good. For mine, I put a splitter on it. I would probably do a splitter still on this. It gives you a little extra, downforce in the front that it just feels a little bit more stable, a little bit more confident. I like that he's got the hood vents and everything else. One, yes, it does help cool the engine bay. I like the idea of them for the cooling, but two, if they're set up right, you can also get a little downforce out of them, because as the air is coming in, it'll actually push out and push the hood being the front end of the vehicle down. So I like that on this car. Overall, I really enjoyed it. At least for me, it wasn't a sub 2 car. We'll see when the owner runs this, how close he gets to a sub 2 in its current state. With a couple modifications, I'm sure he'd be knocking right on the 2 mark. But you guys, let me know what you think. Like I said, I really enjoyed this car. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked being in my head and being able to hear basically what I was thinking as I was driving around the track. So anyways, I'm gonna close that out for the S2000. You guys let me know. All right guys, it's time for round 2 today. Not session 2, round 2. So I'm all done with the S2K. Kind of done. I think I'm gonna do one more session. But I'm gonna jump in the Miata next. We'll see how that goes. I'll run you guys through that car. You guys let me know what you think of that. And as always, you know how we gotta do it. So we're gonna get ready to go out on track, and we're gonna have some fun with the Miata. You guys let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. All right guys, so we are now in the Miata. This should be interesting. This is literally my first time ever driving a Miata. So I have no idea what to expect. I don't really know what it's going to feel like. The owner, the session before this, tweaked the suspension a little bit and adjusted the sway bars because he wanted a little bit more of swing in the rear end. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's go out and have some fun. We got a couple cars behind us that are definitely going to be faster than us, so we're gonna have to let a couple of them go through and then do a couple warm-up laps so we don't put this in the dirt like everybody else has been doing. No power. had to grab a gear there. Get some of these faster cars out of the way. There we go. All right, now let's get back to doing what we want to do. Not sure why they had a race prep vet in the slow lane, but that's okay. So coming up over Phil Hill. Alright, that actually doesn't feel too bad. We were slow going through it, but it actually felt better than I thought it would. I'm going to grab third because we know we're going to need it through here. Still need another lap or so for the tires to get warmed up. Stay off the berm here because if you're too tight, it's going to spit you out. .86 wasn't quite fast enough to catch up to us. We're going to come down into here. Make sure the tires are warm so we don't slide this out too far. Definitely have to get on the gas earlier. It actually picks up revs pretty good. The berms unsettle the car a little bit. That just has to do with the suspension that it's on. Grip feels pretty good though. It's funny, you can actually be fully in the power earlier. So the fun thing about the car, it actually handles really well. I know it needs new suspension, because the owner told me the suspension that's on it's wore out, but it actually doesn't handle bad for having bad suspension. The tires grip really well. The addition of the sway bars that he put in, I didn't drive it beforehand, but it can't be bad because it actually feels pretty good. It turns in really well. I honestly might need second gear around that corner. But it's actually a fun car. It's easy to drive so far. It's good and responsive. It is slow, but I think slow is actually a little bit of an advantage on this car because it really allows me to hit my lines. And actually, I don't know if it's a speed thing. I'll have to check my tracking on it, but I mean, I wonder if my speed's actually slower than what it was in the S2000. It feels faster. And it actually feels more confident, which I'm kind of surprised about. Yeah, I don't know why, but I actually feel more confident in this car. And the way the suspension kind of settles in the corners. Alright guys, so first impression of this car, I really enjoyed it. I want to say high hopes, but I just wasn't expecting that much out of it, and it was a lot of fun. I'm really interested to get in, see what my times are, and see how it performed, because it actually felt faster than the S2K, which I know doesn't make any sense, but we'll have to see. I'm gonna go in, I'll check times out, and I'll let you guys know, and we'll go from there. All right guys, let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. All right. All right guys, so that was the Miata versus the S2000. What'd you guys think? I had an absolute blast today. Not only hanging out, meeting great people, but getting to drive two really fun cars. So here's my thing. With the Miata is super easy to drive. It was really forgiving. So I actually thought I was going faster in the Miata than I was in the S2000 until I checked my times. When I checked my times, I actually found that the Miata was slower, significantly slower, but it felt faster, which I don't know. That's kind of the goal of what you do. You know, if you're out for specific lap times, S2K by far. It was not 1,000% better, but really that much faster, and it'll more than likely stay that much faster just because of the power difference. If power-wise they were closer, the Miata, I think on the weight difference and at least on the characteristics of the handling with these two cars, the Miata would be faster. But here's my thing. So the Miata you can get into cheaper, your consumables are cheaper, but you're limited to your final end of where you're going to go with the car. So if you just want something that's a weekend track day fun car that's fun to drive, I would say the Miata is probably your better option. If you're looking for more of that time attack, looking to really be competitive in that sense, the S2000 will probably take you a little further, unless you're running like a spec Miata class. But anyways, so in between the two cars, the miles per lap was the Miata by far. I had so much fun just lapping the Miata. But for the speed aspect and everything else, it has to be the S2000. The S2000 was just that much faster per lap. And as I settled in and did a couple sessions in the car, I got that much faster in the car. So I know. Let me know if this surprises you. In between the two, I'm gonna have to give it to the S2K. I don't know if it's just because I'm a Honda guy, or just I think in the end it was just that it was that much faster, and for me, I'm looking for that speed. But don't get me wrong, the miles per lap and the actual fun of driving the Miata was so much more fun to drive, just lap after lap after lap. It was like literally I had a smile on under my helmet. But yeah, so in between the two, I'm gonna have to give it to the S2K in this case. You guys let me know what you thought about the Shootout. I definitely want to do more. I definitely want to do a larger group where, you know, maybe I come out to an open track day and line up 4, 5, 6, or even more cars where you just take them out and you go out for a 20 minute, and you lap them, and you know, you see what the results are. So you guys let me know what you think. Throw your comments below, and we'll keep having fun. All right, I'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks. Let's get our braking done early. Just run a clean line through there. I already had one S2000 put it in the wall. That's what I like about the guys that know how to drive. Like, I gave him a late point. I was like, I see you, just take it. And like, he didn't even pause.